welcome. My name's Sam and this is The Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today. And welcome to our new stamp set of the week, Balloon Festoon. It is a 12 stamp set, should I say. It has 5 sentiments and the other 7 are all images. So we've got a garland, we've got dots, we've got stars, we've got confetti, we've got dashes, the balloon, and the string for the balloon. So it is a beautiful stamp set. It also has a die set that goes with it. This die set is all about the balloons. Let's put that over there. As you can see, it's balloons and the strings, and there are some very large balloons here. So you've got right down for this small one, which fits on the actual stamp set, and then all the others get bigger and bigger, are for you to create as you will. And these little things here are the highlight on the balloon. Right, okay, so we've had a look at those. Let's bring in today's card. So it's a quick card for Monday. So here we have it, 3 layers, base, matte and white focal, and then we have the happy birthday slap bang in the middle. Right, so let me bring in my supplies. I have got, so this is Lemon Lolly. It measures 8 inches by 5 3/4, and I've scored it at the 4-inch mark. Let's take my bone folder and we will burnish. There we go. Then I have a layering piece of cherry cobbler. Now this is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. Then we have our white focal piece, which is 3 1/2 by 5 1/4. I then have another piece of matte in cherry cobbler. Now this is 2 1/4 by 4 1/4, which makes the piece for the sentiment 2 by 4 inches. And I have a 3 3/4 by 5 1/2 piece for the inside. So what I want to do first of all is we're just going to get all the stamping over and done with, and then we can stick the card together. Right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this small piece. This needs to have the balloons and the sentiment. So I have got, so the original card had happy birthday. So I think now I'm going to have hip hip hooray. I had actually got happy birthday out, so I'm going to pop that back. It goes down here at the bottom. And I'm going for hip hip hooray, which is this one over here. And that can go on my block. There we go. Hang on, what have we done here? Oh, I've put that in the wrong place. That's what's confusing me. So here we go. Enjoy your day. And then there it goes on like so. Lovely. Right. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 balloons or 3 balloons on here and the sentiment. So I am stamping the balloon in Lemon Lolly. Okay. And I'm going to overlap them because balloons do have that transparency on them. We should be able to, it doesn't matter if we overlap. So I'm going to do 1 there, and then I'm going to go 1 to overlap here, and then I'm going to do a 3rd one down here like so. Okay. So that's the balloon out of the way. Actually, while we've still got the balloon, I'm going to take the larger of the 2 white pieces. So that's the 5 3/4 by 3 1/2. And I'm going to pop a balloon there. Okay, then I'm going to bring in the cherry cobbler. And that will supply me with the string for the balloon. So I'm going to line up this piece here, which is the knot, hopefully with the balloon end. So let's see if I can do that. There's one there. And then I'm going to do the same with these 3. So we've got one there, one there, and one there. Okay, so that's the 3 balloons. And then we just need to have the sentiment, which is the hip hip hooray. And I'm going to stamp that again in the cherry cobbler. So this will work with not only as a happy birthday, but it can also be as a congratulations. Let's put that for a second. And then what I've got is I've got Coastal Cabana, and I've got the dots, which will go over the balloons. So again, we'll do it with the first one in here inside the card. Ink that up. Okay. And then I'm just going to hover over, push down. Oh, that didn't work very well, did it? What happened there, I wonder? Okay, we can correct that one. Let's see if it works better this time. That's better. Maybe I was just pushing too hard. So what I'm going to do is you're going to go first one there. Second one there. And then the third one down there. There we go. So we've got all the balloons. I'll worry about the inside layer later. What I do want to do though is now focus on this piece, which is the background. So I have got Pool Party, and I'm going to put the streamer, just take the ink pad to the stamp as it's quite large, and I'm going to stamp it around on all 4 sides. So let's go on there. I'm just going to turn it as we go. And then once I've done this, I'm going to infill and work around the streamers with the other stamps. Not all of them will show through because obviously the sentiment will take up the majority of the area. Okay, so that's the streamers. Now let's have a look at, we've got the dots, which I shall do in, again, in Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to go one there, and probably one there. I'm going to take the confetti, and I'm going to do that in the lemon lolly. One, two, just trying to think where else to go. No, I'm going to leave it like that, I think. And then I'm going to bring the stars in, and I'm going to do that in the cherry cobbler. And probably here 3. There we go. Right, so as you can see, I'm not worried about this bit because the sentiment will fill it. So if I put that there, you can see. Now obviously if you look at it and you think to yourself, oh, I'm not happy with that, I need to, let's bring that in. That will go over the top like that. You could put something, but I think that works quite well actually. So I'm going to leave it like that, so that works fine with me. So I can close up my ink pads before I put all my fingers into them. So that is cherry cobbler, Coastal Cabana, Lemon Lolly, and Pool Party. Put those aside, and then we can start sticking things together. So we're going to layer this piece onto the cherry cobbler, and I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. Pick this one up and it feels a little bit empty, so I'll give it a go, and if not, I'll get another one. They're right beside me, so that's fine. No, that one is definitely empty. Okay, let's pick up another one. There we go, that's better. She says throwing it around. Right, so let's get the... So that goes down, and then onto here, like so, making sure that you've got your border even on either side. Then I'm going to put this, the sentiment strip, onto my second layer, which will go onto here, like so. And I will attach that in a moment, but first I'm going to pop this onto my outside. And as you will see, eagle-eyed ones of you, as I've turned it round so that my stars are 2 sides and a bottom rather than 2 sides and a top. Okay, and then I'm going to put this one on here, but I'm actually going to use dimensionals. So let's bring those in. Guest house reach. Got my dimensionals. Turn it over. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 in the middle. There we go. Oops, did I get that one off? Yeah, I did. Right, so let us pop that in the middle. There we go. And there is our quick and easy Monday card. Whoops, let's make sure the glue doesn't spill. It's interesting how the cards look so different with the colours that you use. So there we go. So thank you ever so much for joining me this morning or this afternoon. Do pop by on Wednesday when we will do our second card. Thank you ever so much. Take care. Bye.